IVM.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode. This is episode number 49, very close to my heart, and I'll tell you in a second. This is actually one of the few weeks we're doing a double drop of an episode. One of the important reasons is also we have a blockbuster, and I underline that blockbuster episode coming up next week, which is also episode number 50, a huge milestone for us. And there's a massive surprise for everyone who's listening, so please stay tuned. We will be back on a regular schedule next week. That is a pre-recorded episode, so please tune in. Like I said earlier, this is very close to my heart. This is episode number 49. In an ideal world, I would have just called it the Invincibles and wrapped it up at that. 49 games unbeaten. We have continued for 49 episodes without any FIRs, so I think we're in the clear, boys.
We're in the clear. Plenty of draws along the way, but no losses at all.
No losses at all. Sapre, how do you feel about Ekam Pachas?
I'm excited. I'm all excited. I'm more looking forward to the 50th episode than this one currently. I can't help it. I'm sorry. Because you know what happened on the 50th? You know what happened on the 50th game of the Invincible, whatever that you...
Pizza was served for lunch.
Well played, Sapre.
That says more for Sapre than United. Anyway, so this is a special episode. We are actually not covering the games on this episode. This is something we thought of we should do. Season has more or less ended, right? I mean, will Arsenal make it for the Europa Cup? Who cares? Will United consolidate their Champions League? I'm pretty sure they will. Will Bournemouth stay up? I really don't know where they're in the league, so I don't care again. But what is important is this is the time around which all the clubs vote for their best player of the year. And this is also the time where we want to pick our top team to represent the entire league that has happened. Of course, there was a little break in the middle. So we will also have little breaks in the middle. But this is a fun episode. You can, of course, tweet to us with hashtag Football Shootball. Tell us what you agree with, what you don't agree with. So right after this break, what we will do is pick our favorite players from the league, and there'll be a little twist to it. So hang on. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hey everybody, welcome to another awesome week on the IVM Podcast Network. If you're not following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Paytm Money and Intel. Their support makes this content possible. So, been a really exciting week on the network this week. We've had some really cool stuff. My old friend Vivek Lad was on Storytellers and Storysellers. Definitely do check that out. On Cyrus Said, we had Ashwin Sanghi on Thursday's episode, and Cyrus and myself did a cock and bull, just the two of us. That was fun as well on Monday. Do check that out. Masaba was on Advertising is Dead, which was another really, really strong episode from Varun. And on the sports front, both Edges and Sledges, Football Shootball had some really fun episodes. That's the Football Twaddle. Do check those out as well. And if you haven't been paying attention and you haven't been listening to Smile India in these times, I don't know why you aren't. It's the most uplifting show that you could listen to. It's a short, bite-sized piece of really positive things that happen in India. Do definitely check that out. And with that, let's get you back to your show.
Welcome back to episode 49, episode 49, Ekam Pachas, the Invincible episode. I don't know what we should call it. Is there a Hindi movie which can...
I think you can get away with calling it the Invincibles as well.
Chalega. I don't want to disagree. Okay. So, Sapre, sorry, did you have something to say, or again you're going to bring up United?
No. I was thinking of the dubbed version of the Invincibles and what it was called, but then I haven't watched it, so I don't know.
Okay. After that interesting tidbit from Sapre, let's keep going. Let's keep enthralling our listeners with those amazing things that you can't find on any other podcast. Are people just saying things on other podcasts? No, but we are, and we are on episode 49. So that says a lot about IVM Podcast. But let's continue. So we are picking our favorite people in the league in many different positions. And of course, we're trying to find the best team that we could bring together. Anyone who's anyone, you ask someone on the road, it'll be 8 Liverpool players, 2 City players and 1 Arsenal player. But we want to change that. We want to give it a little twist. So there are, of course, 20 teams in the league. And what we want to do on this episode is make sure every one of them gets represented. So this will be a squad of 20. I hope Karthik can name all the 20 teams. Let's start there. So if Karthik can name all the 20 teams, we'll pick our favorite player from each team. and then we'll try and find a proper position for them. So we will continue with, having a set number of strikers, set number of midfielders, similar to your FPL teams, where you pick one from each. We don't have values assigned, but we should start with what we think will be our perfect combination, and hoping they will eventually see the Champions League, unlike the Arsenal. Okay, cool. So are you guys ready? Do you guys need a cheat sheet? Do you guys want to see how many people we need in each position?
No, let's just first name. We'll figure out a formation later. How does it matter? Because this team is going to be so solid, it doesn't really matter. We'll figure out.
Yeah, so 10 strikers. I'll tell you what we can start with. Let's start with the lower leagues, as in the teams in the lower half. So it's easier to pick 1-1, and then we'll see where we can fit them, okay? And I can pretty much take a guess of which names you'll come up with, because those are possibly the only names you know from these teams. Right now, and we're recording a little early before some of the games have happened. I think there are still 5 games to go. And Norwich City are still bottom. I don't think that will change. They're 6 points behind Bournemouth. Who is your pick from Norwich City if you had to pick one? I have a fair idea that it's Flemish for goat.
But that guy hasn't scored since Christmas the year before last, right?
Last year, Baba. Christmas the year before last is many years ago.
Many years ago. But yeah, I mean, I don't know.
We're going back to Fulham days. I like Cantwell.
Okay. Also, it's been people are talking rumors about him coming to Arsenal, so I guess. But I like Buendia. I also like the name.
Buendia is nice. Yeah, Buendia is nice. So that's a midfielder for you.
Can I make a suggestion? If we don't have another keeper, and because Tim Krul loves saving penalties, he won't be a bad choice.
I mean, I thought we have a lot of contenders for
keeper, but I mean, if there's a player better than that, I'm just saying it can be a good second choice if you need to come back to.
Fair enough. We'll put Krul down on your insistence as goalkeeper. Let's keep going. Number 19. Hey, this feels like a super hit mukabla. Number 19 is Bournemouth. Karthik, name 2 players from Bournemouth.
I mean, it's an interesting question. Because
Sapre, who's your pick from Bournemouth?
They're all shitty this season, but if I were to pick one, because the format of the show is expected, I am expected to. I think Nathan Ake would be a choice.
Very good pick. I agree.
Unless he's a Chelsea player on loan to Bournemouth and that's some technicalities that you will rubbish, then I don't know.
No, I'm not going to rubbish that. They will continue to represent the teams they're playing for. I think Nathan Ake is a great pick. Although there was, of course, Ryan Fraser, who was voted there as in the player of the season the year before last. I don't think they've shown up this time, and I don't think they will continue to show up next year because they are bound to get relegated. But I like Nathan Ake unless Karthik has remembered any other name from Bournemouth.
I mean, I was thinking Harry Wilson, but I think our options in there will be far better. I'm fine with Ake. I think he's a good player.
Nice. You're playing the game like it's meant to be played. Very cool. Okay, let's go. Number 18, Aston Villa. Who do you want to
I think let's just put Grealish there and move on.
I think we'll stay up somehow.
He's the first name on their team sheet also. I mean, how can you change anything?
Not McGuinness.
I just think Grealish would be the right choice. I don't think they have a few decent players, like half decent, but
Tyrone Mings is also great.
But I don't think anybody is better than Grealish. I mean, in that team and also as a choice, I think he's done really well.
Fair enough. Okay, so let's stick with Grealish. Watford. I mean, now that's a little tricky because Karthik knows 2 names.
Yeah. Watford is going to be.
I think for me, Ben Foster would be a good choice from Watford.
Okay, keeper.
Look at. Have you seen their team? It's shit. I mean, did you watch the Chelsea match and the penalty that was given?
No, Karthik, what were you saying?
It has to be Doucouré, no? Like he's been their best.
Not Sarr or Dini?
Yeah, Ismail Sarr, because of that Liverpool game. Dini I don't like personally. I think he's on but
great point.
Yeah, I'll go with either one of Doucouré or of Sarr. If you're on the Sarr train, I'm fine with sharing some Sarr with you.
Okay, so Sarr it is, because I'm just finding it more agreeable to write Sarr down because I can't also spell Doucouré. That brings us to number 16, West Ham.
They all so pathetic, man. This is West Ham.
It has to be Antonio. He's a joker. He's absolutely fun just to hang out with. I'm sure his interviews are really entertaining.
Yeah. Fair enough.
What is this criteria?
No, if the match after the Chelsea victory that they had, and when he came and he spoke, and it was superb. Yeah, the way he spoke after the game. So yeah, he's fun. He seems like we can hang out with him.
He's the
Joker in the team.
He's the anti-Moyes. Moyes is so shitty even in his interviews, and look at Antonio. On the pitch, off the pitch, he's just fun.
Quite honestly, Shivram, I can't think of a player from West Ham who has stood out at all. Not in terms of names. I mean, Felipe Anderson comes with such a big reputation, etc. Yeah. But on the field, but he hasn't scored. Yeah, I mean, seriously, we're going to get far better strikers than Sebastian Haller. So just because Antonio is such a lively character and he seems like a football shootball type of guy.
Nice, fine. I'll write Antonio down for that. That brings us to 15. We're going through these very quickly. Brighton.
No, honestly, because we keep saying Maupay over the last few weeks, I want to.
You want to pick a striker from Brighton?
That's only because I don't know any other options. So.
Wait, let me see if any at all, because I will tell you a couple of names that stick right immediately, and I'll give you some statistics also. So Neil Maupay has actually had the most shots in the entire league. He has 87 shots. He's number 4. Number 1 is Salah with 108. Number 2 is Firmino, 92. De Bruyne is 4th. Sorry, there should be a number 2nd also, which is missing. I don't know why. But number 5 is Neil Maupay. He's 87 shots. And I'll give you one more statistic. Lewis Dunk has had the 8th most passes in the league. I don't know why that is important, but
that's because the way they play. So I don't. But Dunk is an interesting candidate. He's good from set pieces. Yeah. And, he's a fun guy. So that would be a good choice. Between Maupay and Dunk, I think. And Duffy was good, but I think Duffy's lost his place in the team.
Shane Duffy. Yeah, he has.
So Dunk would be a good choice as
well. I just like the fact that Dunk stands at like some 7 foot tall and he plays at left back. So, yeah.
It's very, very surprising for such a tall player to not be playing centre back. So that is yeah. So for his weirdness, we'll pick him in the team for now.
Can we at least get Aaron Moy in the consideration list? I like him. He's a decent player. Yeah, he may not be the quickest or not a lot of skills, but he's a damn good player. Like for a squad.
I'm surprised you would go with Moy before you would go with Trossard.
Trossard is also good, but Moy has played more than Trossard this season. That's the only reason I'm picking him.
I think Trossard gets also started later. Like he comes on at 60 more often than not. Very rarely has he started. I think he has started a few games, but not as. But anyway, okay. So between Moy and Dunk, make a hard choice now. I don't think we can come back to it because I don't think we can spend time on Brighton.
Okay, so I'm going Dunk. Sapre will probably go Moy. Shivram, you have to take the call.
I go with Dunk. Moy's name has been cut. Very nice. Crystal Palace. Who do you want to pick?
Wan-Bissaka.
Wan-Bissaka you already picked. Bye-bye. Transfer is done. Can't pick him twice. So nice they bought him twice.
Shitty team.
Zaha.
Yeah,
Zaha.
Exactly. It has to be Zaha, no? Although I think that Ayew did well.
Patrick Van Aanholt can also be a choice.
But if you have already gone with Dunk, and I don't know, Chilwell will probably come under consideration.
Yeah. Hey, no, Everton have other names.
But that's Leicester City. So Everton may have how many other names? But
Leicester. Nice.
You always no, but since Football Shootball started, Everton and Leicester have been the same club for Shivram. He started with Soyuncu playing for Everton. He can't differentiate between the two blue clubs.
Colorblind.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I'm going to stick with Zaha. Although Ayew had a decent season, but
Ayew is fairly old.
Because it is Zaha. I mean,
yes, let's go with Zaha. Zaha. I think I agree with Karthik for a change.
Number 13, Southampton. Any other name other than Ings?
No.
Armstrong.
No.
Ings. No. Second highest goal scorer currently. I mean.
Okay. Newcastle.
Saint Maximin. Nobody else is as exciting as he is. And probably this would be his only season at Newcastle. I don't think he'll stay at Newcastle next season unless the big money comes.
He's coming to Arsenal. He's coming to Arsenal sooner rather than later.
Khatam hi nahi hota
hai. Isn't he French? He's bound to come to Arsenal. Not Dubravka. This is a good point to make for Dubravka.
I mean, he is. I mean, Saint Maximin, but a guy who's had, I think, 4 assists and 1 goal in the entire season just because he's a little flash and he plays.
You want Jolinton?
You
want I'm sure people who are lesser.
You want one of the Longstaff brothers?
Do you want Almiron?
I like Dubravka, if that helps.
I like Dubravka also, so I'm just going to write it down. No, but then you'll have Alisson and Leno.
But none of them going to get a chance, right? Like, so you're suggesting Alisson, but then Alisson at the start of the season, if you remember, he was injured. Adrian played a lot of games. In terms of Liverpool's season, where they really won the league, they won it at the start, and Alisson didn't really play a massive role. So I don't think he's going to be Liverpool's pick for us.
There is also Pope and De Gea and Rui Patricio.
I mean, you think Sapre is going to let us pick anyone but Bruno?
That is also true.
We will come to the teams in the top half later. Bottom half.
Fine. So we're at Newcastle, where Saint Maximin is fun. Dubravka is safe. Probably go with fun. I don't know. Yeah,
let's go with fun. Let's go with fun. Cool. Cutting Dubravka's name off. Is sticking with Saint Maximin. Everton, Karthik, you're Chilwell.
Everton, I'm not sure. Yeah, I would say Carlo Ancelotti because he's really effected the change in the side.
Nice.
Everton was struggling until Don Carlo came in, and he's made the side at least decent enough. So
I like that pick.
As a player, I don't know. Sapre, do you have any?
Is it about what players that I really want to have or players who perform for the team? Because then you have your Richarlisons and Dini's played good. But I like Bernard. I think he's a very interesting player.
Also French.
But to answer your question, it I think needs to be tilted towards players who have done well simply because we're picking a team of players who have done well and not a fantasy FIFA squad.
So then let's pick up Soyuncu. Oh, sorry, he plays for Leicester. So.
But what about Shivram's favorite? What is that DCL we keep calling him? Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He's okay. He's good. If he scores a hat-trick tonight, I'll change this sheet in the night and then I'll automatically put him in somewhere. For Ings or something, I'll put him in. Don't worry.
So there are a few decent players. There are also Richarlison, which we've not mentioned.
Although you just mentioned him 2 sentences ago, but okay, we haven't mentioned. Yes, you did.
Okay, as a collective, as a collective, we haven't.
जब तक तीनों ने नहीं बोला तब तक mention नहीं
होगा. Bernard. My choice is Bernard.
अच्छा ठीक है. So Karthik, we pick Carlo Ancelotti, right?
Yeah, I mean I'm fine with Ancelotti unless we have to pick a player. I'm fine.
No, I really like this. I really like this cheat that you came up with. Let's go with Ancelotti because I like him as a manager also. Next up, number 10 below Arsenal, just to make sure you know where you are in the table. Tottenham.
And Ndombele.
Oh man.
अरे वो तो मुझे भी नहीं खिला रहा है.
वही तो टीम में रखो उसको यार.
Correct है. De Bruyne ने भी अच्छा खेला था फिर होसे ने निकाला था तो.
Just to keep our Asian flag flying high, Son.
Ooh, yeah, I like Son a lot.
Let's go with Son.
Okay. I mean, there is nobody in Tottenham who's had a good season. He's had an average season by his standards, but that's still better than everyone else in that club.
Yeah, he's been a path breaker, leg breaker in the team. Fantastic.
अरे उसने सॉरी बोला बाद में अकेले में जाके.
वो बेचारे का नाम भी नहीं लिया वो 10 टीम में हमने. इतना बुरा खेला वो पूरा सीजन because of Son.
Oh my. Okay, चलो ठीक है. तो Son तो लिख दिया मैंने. Now we'll come to number 9.
But even with Son, when we're choosing the final squad, we cannot have any knee-jerk reactions. Okay.
Ooh, lots of jokes coming from Karthik today. Very nice. Very nice. Chalo, let's go back to number 9. We have Burnley. Karthik, you remember any players from Burnley?
I'm out. I only like the guy Ben Mee after he spoke when that god-awful White Lives Matter banner came over during their match against City. So Ben Mee is the only person I know from that club. So take this suggestion with a pinch of a lot of a pinch of a lot of salt does not make sense.
Lots of pinches, I think. Lots of pinches.
Yeah, lots of pinches.
Because that is what you'll get. Because you've forgotten the guy with the most clean sheets.
Clean sheets, yeah. Nick Pope.
Oh, yeah.
I think Nick Pope directly has to go into my notebook here.
He has the most clean
Nick Pope
sheets.
he has 13, which is also equal to Alisson, which I think you were just trashing some time ago. But followed by Kasper Schmeichel, who has 12.
Pope. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go with Pope. Sheffield United. I think we know who that name is going to be. His name starts with the Lord and ends with a Lundstram.
I honestly was not going to select him, but because you have gone with Pope, Bigger Henderson was going to be my pick for Sheffield. But then second choice, Lundstram. Yeah.
Sapre, you can also participate. It's fine.
No, it's this is becoming so obvious. I don't think I have much to add here. Lundstram.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Lundstram?
Yep.
Okay, done. We have a very thick midfield.
Is it? You need to now. Shall we take stock? Because in the bigger teams, we'll probably have more choices. So maybe don't go through the list. Just tell us your feelings.
We can wait for one more team and then we can move to the big teams.
Oh no! I think the big teams have just started. Okay, so let's take stock. So as goalkeeper, we have Pope, Krul, and Foster. For now, we have in defense Ake and Dunk. In midfield, we have Grealish, Sarr, Antonio, Lundstram, Zaha, Maxima, Shaw. And for strikers, we only have Ings. So I think we have a lot of space still left.
We also have manager, don't we?
Yeah, Carlo Ancelotti. Sorry, I missed that out. Yeah, Carlo Ancelotti is already, I think, signed, still delivered. I don't think we can touch it. Who's going to go back to Everton to discuss another player? Man, too much effort. Let's just stick with this. Cool. Now becomes the tough choice of Arsenal. Who's your standout player for this season who can also fit into this team?
Leno. But we have enough goalkeepers. Because
we have three choices.
So I think let's go with Oba, yeah? I mean, this is last season with Arsenal. Let's be nice to him.
You hope. I also hope, actually. Karthik, any submissions?
I mean, all I know is that in fantasy football, the guy has got more than 150 points easy already. Mm-hmm. Maybe even more than that. Probably he's touching 200, which is almost double what the other guys have got in the same club. So any comparison would be unfair to Aubameyang.
Fair enough. Okay, I thought for a moment you were going to say your entire team has gotten less than 150 in the whole season. Which is not far from the truth. I mean, that is your position in the league. Wolves. This is going to heat up.
Yeah, this one's, I don't know. Sapre, you want to take a crack at this?
I don't know. A few names coming to mind. Jimenez, but they also have Ruben Neves and they have Adama Traore because we need somebody from the bench to come and, make this team even more
basically
exciting.
Shaqiri. This team ka Shaqiri will be
Traore. So, I mean, between Jimenez, yes, Jota, of course, and Traore, I'm confused. I don't know.
No, Doherty, marauding defender.
नाम में confusion है तो पता नहीं फिर दो बार लिखना पड़ेगा इतना जगह भी नहीं है waste होता पेपर.
Karthik is quickly looking up Wolves players. Karthik.
I wasn't. I was actually seeing the England versus Pakistan schedule for the series that's going to come up. It's a 3-test 320I tournament, and it starts next month.
Sounds really interesting.
I thought Karthik was taking Nuno's name for maybe another manager from Wolves, but
No, but I was going to, but I like Adama. Like, again, he's fun. And if we already have Oba, is there a place for Jimenez? There probably is, no, as a target man for.
I'll give you. Yeah, there is. We have only Ings and Oba, but I'll give you a cool stat. Mm-hmm. The most successful dribbles per match, number one is Adama Traore, who's averaged 5 dribbles per match. Number 2 is Wilfried Zaha, because he's, I think, played only 10 minutes. And he's gotten 4.5 on that. And number 3 is Maxima, who's gotten 4.3. So this random stat basically puts our entire midfield on top of the league. So I think we should stick with Adama. Because I think there are a couple of other options we might have for strikers. And we might possibly have to bracket a Salah into a striker role? Because technically, I mean, who are we kidding? He's actually a striker.
Yeah, he's like an inside forward, so it's fine. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, he's like he's like a supporting striker. Cool. So for Wolves, we're taking Traore, and we'll do the math in a bit. That leaves us with United. Top 5 we've entered. This is Q3. If you remember the qualifying of yesteryears, when all the teams used to stop and then they used to only do the qualifying for the last 5 teams. Anyway, boring start. United, who do you pick?
I know Karthik said I'll not choose anybody but Bruno, but in reality, I want to go with Rashford. He has been outstanding before he got injured, and yes, Bruno has been doing good, but I would still go with Rashford. And come on, he's going to win the best guy in England award if it happens this year because what he's done.
अगले साल PM बन जाएगा तो हमारी टीम में नहीं खेलेगा.
So I think Rashford for me would be my choice in that team.
Karthik?
Bruno for me. I don't think a player has changed a way a club has played more than Bruno for Manchester United, and especially the upturn that they've had after he's come in is there for all to see. I mean, I was pretty skeptical about the impact that Bruno Fernandez would have in terms of I thought it would at least take a little while, but this guy's hit the ground running, and it's amazing to see. So my vote is with Bruno. Again, we love Rashford because we don't hate kids. So I don't mind, Siva, if you give this to Rashford, you can probably base the decision on how you want to structure the side.
I actually want to go with Bruno. Primarily because if you've seen and not being a United fan, I can see this from the outside and not be partial about it. Rashford's great as a person. Please elect him Prime Minister for all you need. This is a football squad. And Bruno's actually made Pogba show up in ways that other players couldn't or even the manager couldn't. So I think just for that and for what it's worth, Pogba looks like he's likely to stay next year as well. So I think between the three of us and everyone who's listening, I think Bruno has played a much more pivotal role in helping United secure their Champions League spot if they don't lose it over the next 5 games or whatever. But I think Bruno over Rashford, because Rashford has played a great role, good guy. But Martial is also important to include in that conversation. Then there's Greenwood, and then it becomes a little hazy. So let's just stick with the out and out player we have, and that is Bruno Fernandes. Sabre, any final tears you want to shed?
No, I won't. I'm happy with
how
Bruno
democracy works.
Yeah, no.
I like you said, Prime Minister, man, in 4 years later when England have their elections, definitely Rashford should be under consideration because it's going to be the England Prime Minister, Marcus Rashford, and the US President, Kanye West, along with floated Kim Kardashian in official meetings. Yeah. So.
कुछ हो ना हो, बच्चों के पेट तो भरे होंगे.
First, you'll have a first woman of America who's broken the internet.
First woman of America means what?
No, what first lady? Sorry, not first woman. First lady who would have broken the internet. Anyhow, Bruno. Okay, let's go with Bruno. Happy? I'm happy.
So now we're getting into Champions League spots. Chelsea, number 4. Pulisic. No. Oh, you are obviously coming up with a more.
I was going. No. I was going to take one of your faves as well, Tammy Abraham. Simply,
why?
It's time to let go of any ill will that I have towards
Burning
Abraham.
the hatchet live on Football Shootball, but recorded for everyone else. Live for
I want to say, in the interest of how this team is formed till now, I would want to get Kante from Chelsea because we don't have anybody to. George Lampard is not picking him. Yeah.
But Sapre, can I ask you a question? Are you basing this on your perception of Kante from what you know over the great seasons that he's had, or this very monotonous one-note player who's played just 17 times this season? Okay, he's not played very well because he's not in his favored position. He's become, from a force of nature, he's become. What's the opposite of?
Think of it quickly.
Yeah. I don't know. He's become a leaf in the wind.
Okay. No, I agree. He's not been the best this season. But like I said, in the interest of the way the team has formed right now, we don't have somebody to play in that position. So therefore, Kante. Otherwise, you can pick anyone from.
We can still pick NBD man from Leicester.
No, Mason Mount has been a good. Azpilicueta has been good all season.
Yeah,
Anybody but Kepa can be picked from the Chelsea team, actually.
You know what? Azpilicueta is a
Good choice.
It's a good choice, no? I think,
of course. We have two defenders till now.
Yeah.
and Dunk.
No, so
Aspie's,
I'm with Sapre then. Let's go with Aspie, and especially he's captain of Chelsea also, so you have to give him those few bonus points.
And he starts every game. Every game, unlike Alonso, who gets asked to sit down from time and time again. Anyway, let's go a little higher to previous champions. Not last year. Once upon a time they were champions. Leicester City. Their striker has just broken a record. He's hit 100 for the club. Anyone else you can think of other than Jamie Vardy? Also, although he is 32, 33 now.
Yeah,
just as old as Sapre.
Yeah. The thing about picking Vardy also would be, and I don't know if Sapre agrees, but then you'll have a Vardy Ings. I mean, in some formation you'll have them as their top two, which doesn't fill you with confidence. Although I think Vardy needs to be there, but this Leicester performance this year has been far more than just Vardy. I mean, like Sapre said, NDD has been superb. Tielemans, when he's played, has been really good.
Maddison.
Maddison, oh my God, yeah. Maddison, that guy Barnes, I forget his first name.
Harvey Barnes.
Yeah, he's been superb. So, I mean, for Leicester, has been brilliant as well. So Sapre, this is all new now because for me, everyone has been brilliant. And Shivram thinks they're Everton players, so.
Yeah. No, I am going to go with Vardy. Yes, the Leicester team as a whole has had a fantastic season, but so has Vardy, and he's carried that forward. And age is not a problem for him. He can score goals. There's a decent team behind him. Also, from the teams left to choose from, which is Liverpool and Man City, I don't think we have a striker to pick from those teams. We may have other players. So therefore, Vardy would be my choice to go.
Okay, cool. But we do have a striker technically from Liverpool. But we'll come to that in a bit. City are second. Who's your pick from City other than the obvious, the acronym, the man himself? KDB.
It has to be obvious. It has to be him. Unless you want to put all your faith in Bruno and then keep him aside. But then it makes no sense, right?
KDB in his position is across the world, not just in the Premier League, for whatever Karthik might have to say. I think there is not one player who is comparable to KDB.
I think that's it's a damn good argument to make. What he has played over this last season and this has been, it's been a joy to watch, and which is what surprises you. Then why the are these guys 20 points behind when some one guy is playing so well? So I don't think there is anyone but KDB, particularly considering Silva's in the final year. He's been in and out of the side. Bernardo Silva has not been that great this year. Mahrez has been good, but Aguero has been injured quite a bit of the times. And I think we spoke in our previous episode about Jesus not being able to live up to expectations that are there with a club that is two-time defending champion. So, yeah, I mean, KDB is...
I think the reason why they're 20 points behind is because no one else showed up except KDB. I think Sterling hasn't had that great a season. He was missing for the first half until he just scored a couple of goals last week. Foden is the only period of time. Mahrez now looks like he's worth the money they paid for him. But apart from them, I can't think of anyone. Even in the defense, Mendy is there, they're not. There is, Laporte was fantastic when the season began. That
was it, right? I think the title was lost when Laporte got hurt at the start of the season.
Yeah.
So the only two players from City who have been consistent is De Bruyne and Ederson. I know he's considered far more goals than expected, but not a lot of them were his fault. So between the two of them, KDB is an obvious choice then. Every team needs KDB, including ours. So.
To the champions, and let's do a quick roundup of where we are at. We have 3 goalkeepers, that is Nick Pope, Tim Krul and Ben Foster. Then we have 3 defenders, guys, where this is a light team. There is Ake, there is Dunk, and then there's Azpilicueta. In midfield, there's Grealish 1, KDB 2, Sarr 3, Antonio 4, Lundstram 5, Zaha 6, Traore 7, Saint-Maximin 8, Son 9, Bruno 10. Half of this team is playing in midfield. So we need to fix that shortly. Then that's 10, that's 16, and that brings me to what? My math is bad. Somehow I have 20 players already. So thank you guys. This was a great episode. Sorry, I possibly need to cut someone's name off because I haven't done that. But while you guys think of, also this should actually have 18 players because we have a couple from the same team. We have Tim Krul, who's keeper for.
So take him. So keep him and probably take the other guy out from Norway.
Take Bundia off, yeah.
Okay, so Brunda is off. Oh, beautiful. I didn't even count him. So Ben Foster is in the team. There might be one more. Anyway, I'll do the math. Who do you think should be in the team from the champions select?
Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Yeah.
Really? Not VVD?
No, Trent Alexander-Arnold. VVD is boring. He's great. He's very good, but he's just boring to watch. I mean, as compared to Trent. Trent is exciting to watch and also gives us a defender who can give a lot of assists, take free kicks. I mean, free kicks. There are 7 people who can take free kicks in this team.
On that basis, because Trent seems, I mean, I'm on board on the Trent train, but that means Aspi I don't think should be there in effect.
Because technically they play the same spot.
Very similar positions, and because we have Dunk as well, Aspi can't move over to the left, if that's what Sapre is thinking.
No, so see, this is going to be a very weird formation. So we also have Lundstrom. So you know how Sheffield play, right? And Lundstrom was a midfielder.
Inverted fullback. You saw what happened, na? When they played inverted fullback.
Also in the
last. To Aubameyang.
Shut up. Also in the last match, Azpilicueta played left back so that Reece James could play on right back. He's Azpilicueta. He can play anywhere in the back.
No, I'm fine with us. But then Dunk may not even get into the 11, so it's fine. But we don't have any centre backs anyway.
Nathan Ackley.
So Antonio and Sarr will play centre backs basically because they're good at soft skills.
Oba's pretty tall and like little built and stuff.
So wherever we'll just play them.
But okay, so I have one change to make up when you were reading the names of all these players.
Elite.
And because we don't have defenders, you know.
Yeah.
I was thinking because Maximan seems the weakest to me, whereas
Lascelles?
Or there was this other guy, Fernandinho, no. From Newcastle, it's a Fernandez, I think.
Fernandez.
Yeah.
But I'll go with Lascelles. Lascelles is a more, I think he's a little more, agile, plus he's also centre back. So let's take Lascelles.
Okay. Yeah, I think Jamal Lascelles was, I mean, every time I've seen Newcastle, he's been pretty impressive. And Maximan doesn't have a place in our side. Yeah. I mean,
cool. So what we can do is we can put out our team on the internet and you can take a look and tell us what you think. But before that, we also need to make a slight change. We also have Ben Foster, who is Watford, and we also have one more player who was from Watford. No, we don't actually. Okay, so we're fine. Cool.
So we'll put this sheet on. So that means Sarr shouldn't be there, correct?
Yeah, sorry, I missed Sarr. So I'm going to take, which one do you want me to take out, Foster or Sarr?
But then if you take out Foster, we'll have just one goalkeeper?
We'll have 2.
Then I think it's fine, yeah.
So take out Sarr?
Yeah. I mean, Sapre, do you agree? Yeah. I mean, take out Foster.
Oh, take out Foster instead of Sarr, okay? Foster's out, guys.
It's a Watford team. Take anybody out, keep anybody in it. It hardly matters.
Sarr, I mean, he gave us the moment of the season with that 3-0 Liverpool victory.
That is true, as an Arsenal fan.
That performance alone, yeah.
As an Arsenal fan, and this is episode 49. I mean, the least I can do is include Sarr in this.
Oh, if it's an Arsenal episode, then it should include Dini, na?
But he doesn't have the cojones. Anyway, but this was amazing. This was a lot of fun going over the season with you guys. So what we'll do is, like I said, we'll put our team out on an image. You can tweet to us, tell us your picks for the side, and we can discuss it on the interwebs.
Sorry, before you thank everyone for listening in, they have to listen to me a little bit more. What I liked and what this tells us a lot about the season is we've had to pick one per side. And if you look at the top 4 teams, I think Vardy is the only striker there, which would be surprising. You don't have any of the top 2 teams having the striker. And the best team, we're picking up right back. Imagine this a few years ago. Dani Alves, I think Cafu probably are the only ones who would come, and they still had better players playing in those sides. It's absolutely brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant for a Premier League side to have and everyone to recognize that a right back is one of your best attacking players that you can have on the field.
Yeah, after that fantastic piece of information and amazing tidbit, Sapre, do you have anything at all?
No, I'm just so motivated right now with what Karthik said. I mean, I don't know what else to. I mean, I just hope this trend continues. Yeah, you Ronaldo, Messi, forwards. This is an age of defenders.
Yeah, Ballon d'Or for Wan-Bissaka.
Okay, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. First, we'll take a penalty for Wan-Bissaka. After that, we'll continue with the Ballon d'Or. But thank you so much for joining. Hope you guys had fun. Tweet to us with hashtag Football Shootball. So if you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on our social media handles. We are at IVM Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I'm Fickleberry Hun on Twitter and Instagram. That's Huckleberry Finn, but Fickle.
If you want to reach out to me, I am Sapre on Twitter and G Sapre on Instagram.
You can reach out to me at iRant, which is IYERANT on Twitter and Instagram. This is Football Shootball. Recognize.
Are you looking for India's most awesome cricket podcast? Are you now tired of listening to the same old guys drone on about cricket everywhere? Edges and Sledges is a weekly cricket podcast hosted by three fans of the game, Varun, DJ, and myself, Ashwin. It was established in early 2018, has over 60 episodes now, and is of course now proud to be on the IVM Podcast Network. Each week, we get together from three different time zones, the USA, the UK, and Singapore, and we talk about things from the world of cricket, with a focus on Indian cricket. We often interview special guests from all around the world, including former cricketers and cricket media personalities. So check out Edges and Sledges, the cricket podcast, now on the IVM network.
Hi guys, this is Ayushi.
And I am Ritasha.
And welcome to Agla Station Adulthood.
It's a fun podcast we've got going on and we'd love for you to tune in and enjoy with us.
Join us as we stop at various stations and discuss different topics that seem to be bothering us and hopefully
Dating,
you as
relationships, beauty, just being an adult, lots of different things.
We don't have a great grip on it, but we've done okay so far.
Catch Agla Station Adulthood every Thursday on the IVM app, the IVM website, or wherever else you get your podcasts.